Hi guys. Uh, this is Kim, Ginger, and the soul of Paula. So, uh, Ginger, would you want to say hello first?
Hiya. I'm happy to be here. We've been having a lot of fun this morning. We had a little dance party and listening to some good music and channeling some really high vibes. It's really good to be here.
Okay. Paula. Oh, sorry, soul of Paula.
Hello, this is the soul of Paula. I'm not passed over. We're just looking at my feet and we're playing games and calling it the soul of Paula. So I should be speaking through my foot instead of through my A, which I can do often. Over.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
Okay, and then I want to read something out to you, which is this. Oh, I've got to share screen first. Hold on. I'm a bad navigator, I know. Oh, where am I?
You
Somebody's got
get
to
us
do it.
there eventually, Kim.
I
So
do.
long as we get
There you go.
there
I'm
you go.
now. All right, and I'm going to read this out, and then these two are going to have a comment about it. So this is called The Tears That Taught Me, and it's by Morgan Richard Oliver, and I'm reading this out. I had reached a point that I no longer had anything left to say, not only because I knew the best course of action was still to be, oh, sorry, was to be still, sorry, was to be still, but also because I had no desire to put myself in the crosshairs of anyone else's ulterior motives. I was done, drained, and deeply depressed. I couldn't trust people with my pain because I knew that if my vulnerability was manipulated one more time, I wouldn't be able to handle it. In response, I said nothing, while people assumed and said everything. I allowed my silence and my absence to be misinterpreted, not because I feared facing others, but because I feared further losing my mind, my faith, and myself. Now that statement really talked to me. So I'm gonna let you other two speak something about it if you want to, and if not, we'll just not.
Go ahead, Paula. Have you got anything to share there about the what Kim just shared?
Not initially. I think I'm going to feed off you, Ginger. So,
Well, I
um,
think it's interesting timing because I keep hearing myself repeat old wisdom. To me, it's old. And it was more of a realization that there's a different version of me from every person that I encounter.
mhm.
And that there's only one true soul, there's only one true me that I'm responsible for. And nobody else knows who that is. I hardly know who that is. I'm on this journey to get to know who I am. And, how on earth can I put my energy into worrying about what all these other characters think I am? I
Yeah,
won't do that.
yeah, yeah. That's where that's what um and you've helped me sort of refine my thinking on that by your last statement. And I think that other people's perceptions of it, we must remember that it contains all their filters, all their history, all their experiences, all their knowledge gained, and we all perceive everyone else through those filters. So nobody can really actually see us as we see ourselves, because
That's correct.
they're all looking through those specific and individual. There's no judgment on those filters. We all pick them up through life, and our experiences, and so no true version of us can be reflected back at ourselves. And
Cannot.
that's why the inward journey, I think, for everyone is so important, because we then look at the mirror of ourselves internally.
And piece by piece, as we have
Mm,
these encounters, because every
mm,
exchange of energy, it's a reciprocal exchange, it's a give and
mm,
take. And
Mm.
some of us give, and others are, sometimes we find ourselves, some people will call them energy vampires. We find ourselves in a space where we're not receiving. It's take, and then we find ourselves energetically depleted
Yeah.
and ill. So when we're in that relationship with another individual, it's very important for it to be a healthy and reciprocal relationship. Otherwise, it's important for us to detach and create boundaries, because we have to feed our own power source. If it's not a healthy reciprocal exchange, then it has to stop.
Yeah, yeah. And only those that have I suppose experienced a strengthening of their own inner being are able to offer that energy or share that energy without needing to drain it from others. I think those who drain it from others haven't reached a level where they feel energetically that they've got enough energy to share with anyone, so they need to just take it from others. And it reminds me of one of the first books on my spiritual path that I encountered. The very first book I encountered was a book called The Silver Cord, and I was looking for something in a library, and I didn't know what I was looking for, and that book just jumped off the shelf and fell on the floor in front of me. But
Yeah.
the second book I really got into, and I got into the concept of it heavily, was the Celestine Prophecies, because they spoke of the roles different people play to move energy or to gain energy from others. And Kim probably has some input on that particular subject as well.
I would agree. Kim, are you here?
I
Unmute yourself if you're muted.
the only reason I was muted is because Paula's in the same room as me. So when Paula speaks, there's an echo.
Yes.
And it's really hard to concentrate when you're hearing somebody talk twice. So, but I was trying to
Well, you and
listen.
we did a
Um,
video about the Celestine prophecy not that long ago, and
we
I think
did.
that you can
We
do
did.
that
We
very well.
looked. We looked at the 9 aspects of it and the 9 insights, and I think that I quoted Paula's situation because Paula's got a real classic situation and I think I might have talked about that, where at the time of the Celestine prophecies coming out, she at that time had 2 small children and had an instance where the husband came in the room and interacted with one of the children who took one of the states, and then that child like turned on the other child who took another state, and then each to steal energy from the other. So one was the
Yeah.
interrogator, one was the. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Can I? Do you want me to say something on that? I can clarify.
Yeah, I'm going to mute myself. Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. So what I did after reading, and I'm talking about the specific part in the book that talks about how we gain and steal energy from others, and it is working on a precept that we have. If you could, the analogy is a cup of energy. We all carry a certain cup of energy. It's not literal. It's not literally a cup, but it's just symbolic that we carry a cup of energy, and others will try and um, steal that energy if they themselves have been depleted in that cup. So my husband came home from work, and one of the roles in the Celestine prophecies is that people play is the interrogator. So my husband came home and immediately started interrogating my son, because obviously he'd been drained at work, interrogating my son about why he didn't do something or had not achieved something or whatever. And then because I wanted to see this energy transference in reality, see whether it translated into a real life situation. So I then saw my son, then after that, because his cup had been drained by his father, go on to my daughter and start a little fight with her. So he was playing one of the other roles, which is the aggressor. And then my daughter came to me, complaining and crying about what her brother had done to her, and she was playing the poor me. So I was able to actually visualize in real life the transference of that energy. And what it says in the Celestine prophecies is that it's the root core of all issues on this planet is the stealing of energy. And if we could learn that the universe has unlimited energy, and the way to refill ourselves, if we feel that we're energetically low, rather than play these roles, that we sit and meditate and open up to that energy and draw it in. Over.
I like that. That makes a lot of, that really
Hang
speaks
on.
to me.
Yeah. Sorry. Go
But
on.
I did have an encounter where somebody deliberately drained energy from me. It was at a festival, and I thought it was a good lad because it was early in my journey, and I just thought everybody was good. And so I said, sure, yeah, you can help me with my sore arm. And I put my arm out and I let him do his magic. And it was probably 3 months later before I started to feel really good again. And I took it right back to that moment. And I was fully depleted, like really, really strongly affected by that experience and learned from that experience. So it was a challenge for a moment, but then we gained strength and knowledge and we pick ourselves up from these moments. So
Most
these
people do
challenges,
it. Most people do it unconsciously, but there are a few individuals that are aware of the ability to do that, and they're what you classified and what others have classified as energy vampires. They do it deliberately.
yes, yes, yeah,
All right.
yes, and quite a deliberate attack. So that's like they take this knowledge that we've come across and they're using it to their advantage, like on a deliberate level. And are they teachers? I would have to say, in hindsight, yes, this person taught me a lot.
I'm going to cut it off there because this was just like a short video. It's because we were sitting here chatting and I thought I'd include you all. And I'm going to, because it was just meant to be like a quick 10-minute one. I don't want to overtax task Paula and frighten her so she'll never come back.
I am not overtaxed. The solar Paula is not overtaxed. The solar Paula is actually getting energized by this whole process.
That's great. That's brilliant. Well, I'm so happy to have time with you, and it's been great to chat and share today. Thanks, Kim.
Are we cutting off this conversation? Are we?
Only the public part of it.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for listening. All right. Comment below as you like, and just a little video. That's all. See ya. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
You come on back now.
Bye. Right.